Hey everyone, my name is Kenny Johnston. I'm the Director of Product covering the ops stages here at GitLab. I was going to do a walkthrough of PostHog today. Let me share my screen. So PostHog is a product instrumentation, open source product instrumentation piece of software. I'll just show you the website. So therefore providing analytics into what the users of your application are doing and what their behavior is. Seems pretty cool. It's got like funnel and graphing capabilities. Apparently pretty easy to integrate. I'll share that I was just running this pipeline to revert the fact that I previously instrumented this app, and I'm going to show you how that I instrument. So I know it works, and I know it was pretty simple, but I wanted to get a recording of it. So, okay, let's start with PostHog. I've already created an account. Well, I'll give you a story. I'm going to start with PostHog. The app I'm going to instrument is this one. It's a toy app that I use. Simple Ruby on Rails app that has different kind of CRUD actions on this object called artisans. I can see all of them. I can add comments to some of them. I can remove them, and I can actually, let me do one thing real quick. There's a feature flag for random that I want to turn on. I can also choose a random one. So, and create a new one. I will instrument this with JavaScript, and then we'll see how easy that is, and then perhaps instrument it in Ruby with, there's some instructions for implementing it in Ruby so you can create your own instrumentation rather than just the generic web instrumentation you get with JavaScript. So, let's get started. PostHog login. I'll move my screen over here so I'm looking a little bit more straightforward. Okay, login. So as you can see, I'd already instrumented this, but there's no instrumentation in place at the moment. PostHog gave me, I think this was not here, so I'll delete this panel. I added it myself. So when I get started, actually, you know what? I'm just going to start a new account. I noticed in PostHog that there's no quick way to log out, but I found that URL worked. So let's just create a new one. This way we can get a full view. Okay, so what it started with was saying, hey, before you do anything, you got to get this script. So it says, get started, copy the snippet into your header. It'll only take a couple of minutes. Seems pretty straightforward. Okay, I'll copy that. I'm going to stop sharing, just share my whole screen here so I can show you my IDE too. Screen one, okay. Now, VS Code, I'm gonna go to a workspace that I've been using. This one, okay. Get it up to date. That's some untracked change. I don't know what that is. Okay. All right, so I need to add this JavaScript that I found that they gave me to my Zoom windows a little bit in the way. Okay, how's that? Okay. App views, layouts. Okay, so we're just going to drop this script right here. Fix the tabbing. Okay, save that. Add PostHog. Okay, it's gonna take a minute for the pipeline to run on that commit. So let's look at the pipelines. I'm gonna skip some of the tests on the pipeline to hopefully speed it up a little bit. I think all of these are not required except for the test one. So after it's built, hopefully it will get deployed to production and we can see what's going on. While we're doing that, let's look a little bit at the PostHog documentation. Okay, so let's start with doing the snippet. It's probably waiting for some data to come back. It's suggesting I don't do anything until I get some data coming back to that with this unique identifier. And then I can build some other stuff. So I'm going to pause the recording. Wonder if I know how to do that. 1 second. Pause recording. I'll pause the recording and come back when this pipeline's run. Okay, I'm back. I actually took longer than I expected because I ended up canceling one too many pipelines. So this is the final production deploy pipeline, which will then deploy this new version of my app with the JavaScript instrumentation. And I can start sending some traffic to it, and hopefully that will show up in PostHog. This is the production deployed job on that pipeline. And just for reference, I accidentally canceled the review and DAST jobs, and that ended up canceling production, and I didn't notice, so I had to come back and rerun both of those. Okay, I think we're up now. I flipped that artisan bit, or sorry, the random feature flag, so now it should be working. Okay, there we go. We've got this PostHog script on our production website. So when I go here, I should be getting some traffic. I'm getting the I want to hit the random endpoint, the new endpoint. Let's create a new one called SID. Let's call this Sally. Location is too short. Okay. Back here, all of them. I just want to have some random traffic going on. Let's look at that, add a comment. All again. So this should have some traffic added. Okay, so now if I go back to PostHog and look at my dashboard, maybe that didn't work. Oh, there we go. Okay. 8 views. Let's see what we can do here. I think we want to look at events. Oh, let's look at setup. I think we can add a URL. Is that right? Artisans. Yeah. Okay. We don't have any specific user information. These are events. Maybe. Okay, I've got a bunch of page views. Page views is my action. I want to break down by current URL. Okay, there we go. So now I can see what URLs I hit. I hit random twice, list of all artisans twice. Oh, that's interesting. I'm not sure where that one is coming from. This is the Auto DevOps domain, but I've been navigating through here. Oh, I wonder if this is the production performance test. Yeah, that's interesting. So in my GitLab pipeline, when I was deploying to production, it has this performance test that ran and hit traffic on that other URL, this one. Let's say it sent 8 requests. It's interesting. I'm wondering where that count is only 3, I guess. Okay, so we have this breakdown. This is what I had added to the dashboard. This is a list of paths. Okay. So I have this list and count. I haven't created any funnels, but I could create funnels. Let's see if we can now, oh, it can give me popular browsers. I wonder if there's another, in trends, I could also break it down by browser, referring domain, refer, path name. All these paths are, oh, paths. What's going on here? I wonder how I set up these paths. Maybe I should look at the PostHog documentation. Actions configuration. It captures page views and form submissions. Does not capture hover or non-click mouse events. Defining an action. Go to actions, live actions, and you have to be able to see the action you just performed there. Oh, interesting. Events, live actions. Okay, so maybe if I perform a live action like creating a new artisan. I'll call this Frank. He lives in Kansas City. Okay, so that action, I think it's time me. I should be able to find the one I did a minute ago. Once I do that live action, how do I need the action stocks? So this is the action I did. Select an element. This one. Oh, that's cool. Let's make this actually, yeah. What did that do? I don't know what this inspect element means. I'll put this window over here, sorry. Yeah, I'll show you what I'm looking at. Okay, this is the site. This is the doc site. Creating front-end actions. Before making everything, you must have provided a domain, which I did. So the most way to create a front-end action is to visit your application and use front-end toolbar to tag the elements that are relevant. Create a new action, click the pop-out button, did that. See a pop-up in the domain. Okay, so now here's my domain. Labeling events with the toolbar. So you want to track users clicking sign up to our example movie streaming. Use the toolbar to create a name of the action. Okay, so this is user new artisan. Or no, I think it's suggesting I do object is artisan. And the verb is new. Actually, what we're doing is navigate to new. So inspect element. Ah, cool. Action saved. Oh, this is my edit action page now. But a couple other ones. Navigate new. Do a new one from a front end element. I want to do that on the site. It's this site. Once I'm on new, I want to do a. It's weird. Let's just do a different one then. Let's do another one. Okay, so I've got 3 actions. I wonder what that does now that I have those 3. Let's go back to my. Okay, now see my dashboard. I'm not sure what that events does once I have them set up. It's possible for an action types. Huh. I guess we could play around with PostHog to get a sense of what specifically we can track, but maybe I'll stop at instrumentation and have another video for utilizing. There are plenty, looks like there are plenty of tutorials that PostHog's already created. Okay, what I do want to do is instrument this with Ruby. Same app, but there was a item here on their page about instrumenting with Ruby. So what I want to do, integrations. Okay. So there's Ruby library, and I need to set an API key, and then I can capture a specific call. Capture is capturing an event, and then I can capture IDs. Okay, let's add this to my app and see what happens. And I will start by saying I am not an app developer by any stretch of the imagination. So, but I'm going to add this gem. Just call it PostHog Ruby. And then, if I recall correctly, I have to do something to build it locally. To update my gem lock file. I can't remember what that process is called. I want to build my own bundler. That's what it is. Or bundle install. Okay, so that added a gem. Let's just add that actually. Okay, and then the second thing I needed to do was to add this API key. Where do I do that? And again, I feel like when I've done this for other instrumentation, I've added it to some of these initializers. I think if I do it here, Okay, and it told me there's a place to get this key. I'll supply it here, and then I will. Oh, wait. Slash setup page. So this is my key. I guess I need to recycle that. Doesn't really say that this is my key. But let's give it a shot. I'm not really certain that this is the right place to do it, and the docs aren't super clear. I guess if I were a Ruby developer, I would know. Maybe the library. Same docs. Okay, let's try. How do I build it locally? Yeah. Oh, I need to start that Postgres server. So maybe that works. Let's try it. See if it actually. And then we go back to this Ruby integration and say how we capture. This capture allows you to capture anything that needs to adjust within your system. So we just need to say PostHog capture. So let's find a place in the app where we're going to capture. Okay, here's where we had a span from tracing. Let's just try this. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that did not work. Variable method PostHog. Let's see how I did this instrumentation for other services. I think this is not the way to do it. Let's try. I'm gonna pause my recording and figure this out and then come back and see once we have it figured out. Okay, I think I got it. And this is just through a bunch of trial and error on my part that I imagine any Ruby developer would have known pretty quickly. I added this capture event here. I think what worked for me was just adding this Ruby file that defined a new instance of PostHog with these parameters. And now, locally at least, it appears to be running correctly. So let me actually show you that over here. So this is running locally. If I look at the show one specifically, which is what I instrumented here, you can see I instrumented just the show. Then it's renders correctly and tells me that it got over 200 response from submitting to PostHog. So hopefully that worked. I'm going to pause while I run submit this, commit this change, and then let the pipeline run and see it in production. Okay, I'm back. The pipeline successfully ran, so this change of instrumenting it with Ruby got added. It took me a little while to figure out how I then accessed those events in PostHog, but I found them out. You have to create a new action. So I'm going to go to actions. This action is going to be for artisan displayed. I have this custom events that I am adding through my custom instrumentation called artisan displayed. I'll show you where I did that. So that was defined here. I called this event artisan displayed. So I can add that action. It already told me that there are 18 events from viewing this since I added the instrumentation. Okay, so then here it is. I've got all these. The person I just added this distinct ID instead of, I don't actually have a user ID in this app. So I think now I can not look at page views, but instead look at artisan displayed. So there's that. And one of the things I added in this instrumentation was the name and ID of the artisan that was displayed. So if I wanted to see like how many times are people looking at specific artisans, I should be able to then break this down by artisan name. Cool, and then it's telling me of all the people who are looking at artisans, here's the name of that person. And again, this is something I wouldn't have gotten through JavaScript because this instrumentation is not just getting the URL, it's also getting me, I can add custom properties from my application code to further slice and dice. So you could add this same instrumentation to things like creating new and see how often you create new ones. That's probably something you could also do from JavaScript, but there are probably some places where you could look at which random, when a random artisan is added, which artisan, or when a random artisan is shown, which artisan is being shown. So that's an example of how when, by instrumenting it with the kind of like in-app code, you can get more depth into your user behavior. So cool. I am going to stop the recording. One thing I do want to highlight is today GitLab has one of our ops section direction items is about making sure we kind of close the loop. And actually, this is more in the monitor section. So let's look at monitor. So in monitor, we talk specifically about gaining insight seamlessly and completing the loop first. And that is really that in today's world, we typically think about DevOps as stopping at in this monitor section as primarily about your application's performance and availability. So how are we making sure your application stays performant and availability, but not about how available, but not about how you get feedback from your live application to support what you should build next into it. That's really about user behavior and product, in-product telemetry and analytics. And so I really like the idea of some integration between GitLab and PostHog. One of the things that I was adding in the background while waiting for these pipelines to run was that we could do an MVC of adding PostHog as a GitLab managed app. And so one of my follow-ups is to also contact the PostHog team to discuss if they'd be interested in contributing to that. So with that, I'm going to end this video. I hope this was informative. I know it took a little while and there were a couple of pauses in order to wait for pipelines to run. But in all, the experience of instrumenting PostHog was really straightforward for JavaScript. And I think in the Ruby case, it was more just my lack of knowledge about Ruby more than anything. But otherwise, super straightforward. Using PostHog immediately gave me some value in quickly instrumenting and showing information about my user behavior. Thanks.